Hello and welcome to the video in which you will discover 5 formidable nations that you probably have never seen before in Europa Universalis IV. These are 5 nations that personally I've only ever seen a handful of times, and the chances of the AI forming them are almost completely minimal. These nations are simply so obscure that they have almost completely been forgotten about by the average player. So let us start off with one of the more common ones that is actually a very good country. Now, whilst I have seen this country formed by the AI, it has only occurred once in my many hundreds of hours of playing EU4. Say hello to Afghanistan. Now, you're probably thinking, hang on a second, I know what an Afghanistan is. That's the place with all those goats that exist in the modern day. Yes, that's right, and did you know you can actually form it in EU4? The easiest way to form it is to play around in the Kandahar region, and just simply release them as a vassal and then play them. They have some pretty decent ideas like bonuses to army, tradition and trade, but other than that, generally just a little bit average. Their flag is rather funky though. Next up, we have a super rare country that I have actually never seen formed by the AI, and I am yet to see it formed by anyone in any of my games. This is the nation that hides within plain sight. However, because it can only be formed by 2 tiny nations, it is incredibly unlikely. This is of course Romania, a wonderful medium-sized country in EU4. It does have a few problems though. It can only be formed by either Wallachia or Moldavia, however you want to pronounce it. Both of these countries need to either attack the Ottomans or Hungary to form Romania, which is almost impossible to achieve because of the comparative strength. Romania as a country has a lot to offer in terms of manpower. Their ideas are all designed for having a rather large and cheap military, so as a country they are a really good choice to play as. The only problem is you will likely never get the chance. Now, what about a tiny German minor that can be formed by almost anyone, provided they move their capital? However, because the AI does not tend to move their capital, you will probably have never seen this nation form. This is Westphalia, a surprisingly large nation for the HRE that gives you some claims on additional HRE land for free. To form Westphalia, you need to own and core all of these red provinces here shown on screen. Now, the nation itself has the generic German ideas, so it's nothing too special. However, the flag's rather nice and it does give you the free claims. It is of course pretty useless and you will likely never ever see this nation form. Just a bit of a shame, but oh well. Next up, we have the tiny Central European nation. This is the nation of Parma. You're probably asking yourself, what on earth is a Parma? Well, it's a super small nation that I did not even know about until I made this video. So if you want to make a really obscure world conquest, then I would recommend using these guys. It could quite possibly be more difficult than a Ryukyu world conquest due to how slow it is to deal with aggression in Central Europe. So good luck to anyone willing to give this super obscure nation a go. The only way to actually play the nation is to play as Milan, and I think you can only release it after the 1700s. And finally, the most obscure nation available in the game. A nation so obscure and yet so powerful that we all know it. Canada. Yes, that's right, it's Canada. It has a super strange flag, even more strange in this game, and can be formed by basically anyone. All you need to do is to play as a colonial nation and rush Diplotech 7. Follow it up with some exploration ideas and then form your own colonial nation in the Canadian colonial region. Then follow it up by releasing them and suddenly you have the chance to play as the wonderful Canada. Now, Canada gets to use all of the amazing Canadian idea sets. Now, to be honest, you might see this one appear in your game. It is just very, very unlikely. Even more unlikely in the latest patches, where it is almost impossible for European powers to lose control of their colonies. Well, if any of you guys have played a super obscure nation in EU4, then feel free to tell me about it in the comments. In addition to that, if you've enjoyed this video and find it informative, then please give it a like, it would be greatly appreciated. Alternatively, if you really did not enjoy the video and never want to see it again, then you could give it a dislike. But if you do, then please tell me why via a lengthy paragraph in the comment section. Anyway, that's all from me today, ladies and gentlemen. See you in the next one.